82. 82 episodes in. Before you know it, I had 100 of these little Hobby with Cage episodes. Time flies. It's interesting stuff. I picked a fun topic for today. I'm going to keep it really short. It's Friday. There's cool content out tonight. A lot of stuff to be happy about with the hobby, a lot of stuff to be interested about with the hobby, a lot of things that are just top of mind. So I'll start with the fun, right? There are cards you can buy, you can open, you can have fun with that are not going to break the bank. If you happen to be somebody like me who has young kids, this is one of the better times of the year. Pokemon, you can go to any Dwayne Reed or your card store, probably have them also. Rite Aid, drugstore, you name it. They have Pokemon like Halloween packs. They're Pokemon trick or treat. Basically, you can give them out to the kids when they come trick or treating, or you open them up. They got a cool Pikachu in it. They got a little like Celebrations had a little Pikachu like this, but this one has like a pumpkin one. It's like an orange foil Pikachu on it, and there's a foil Pikachu card, stuff like that. I'm sure they're mass produced. I'm sure they're not going to be worth thousands upon thousands of dollars one day, but you can get 50 packs for $20. So they come in this 50 pack. I think the store I was at today had it for $22. I've seen them for $24, but basically packs less than 50 cents. So it's not going to break the bank. You have the rip, you have the fun stuff. You're looking for something fun to do. It's just one of those, and I know there's other things like that out there. It's an interesting thing of where kind of the hobby's heading. We talked about it when when everything was going great and, breakers were just taking everything off the retail shelves. We're like, oh, leave some for the kids. Now there's plenty for the kids, but the kids don't want to open crap. And prices will come back down and there's stuff to open. I try to open something every Friday with Ian. This wasn't easy, fit the bill. It wasn't the only thing we opened, but throw it in there. And it's like, just lots of stuff to rip. That's a positive, right? There was a time there where, if I wanted to do a Friday opening with him a couple of years back, we were paying $70 for a blaster, to open, which is insanity, but that's where we were. It sort of is a good kind of, discussion point of this roller coaster that the hobby's kind of been on. So what's on my mind for today? Like I said, I'll keep it pretty short. The cards, it's not about the cards anymore, right? The title of my thing is Hobby Beef Tacos, so we'll take it backwards. Tacos. There's a lot of gimmicks, right? There's a lot of hobby gimmicks. And, some of them are going to work, some of them aren't. And I guess that's, part and parcel with what happens when, a new company comes in and tries new things out. Having Tom Brady come to the the trade night across America and, having Kevin Hart there, I don't know what he was there for. Except maybe he makes people he stands next to feel tall. I don't know why Kevin Hart's there, but that's an interesting thing. And I saw a lot of fun, tidbits about that. Like, wow, look this is what Fanatics brings. It's wow, it's Tom Brady. When would you ever get this kind of athlete involvement? Well, do you ever just Google 1990s sports card commercials, and you'll see Tony Gwynn, advertising Upper Deck cards, and you'll see Joe Montana advertising for Upper Deck cards, and you'll see them at shows, and you'll see them, going crazy, and the athletes more and more involved. And, this kind of period that we're going into now reminds me a lot of that period also, which is not a period that you want to copy. It was mass production of cards. It was, a lot of card proliferation, and the athletes wanted to get their piece of it, sort of like they're getting now. And yeah, I mean, it's interesting stuff, right? So, you have that fun thing going on, gimmick wise. Gimmick is the taco fractor. I remember there was a wild card for the taco fractor, and now it's been revealed that the taco fractor it goes back on the first stolen base, right? Like, somebody steals a base and it's free tacos based on the steal, right? As soon as somebody steals a base. Now I think it's, if you have the taco fractor of the person who steals the first base in the World Series, you get what they are considering Taco Bell for life. They've never seen me eat Taco Bell. $15,000 is like Taco Bell for a week. And, diarrhea for 3. But, it is what it is. You're your $15,000 worth of Taco Bell. I guess it's Taco Bell for life. You get a Taco Bell gift card. If it were Chick-fil-A, I would have purchased every taco fractor on every Chick-fil-A fractor, I guess they would have had to call it. I would have bought everyone on eBay, even the guys who weren't in the playoffs, just to make sure I cornered the market. That kind of gimmick, not quite sure how it's gonna take, whether or not people really give a crap about that. But I guess we'll see. It's one of those fun things. Breaking news, taco fractor. Everybody has their little scroll on there, and fun stuff. Also, it seems like everybody's making a Bob Ross release. I think there were a couple this year. I opened Bob Ross cards, one pack. I remember showing it to you guys after the National. I think Cardsmiths had a Bob Ross, pack, but I think Topps released a Bob Ross thing, and the site didn't, it wasn't able to keep up with the traffic. So here I am saying, why do we need more Bob Ross? But obviously people went crazy for it because the site kind of, I think, went down. So that was an interesting little tidbit there. And also, I think, talking about cross-branding, I think there was a release today at Lids, which is also, Fanatics, Topps, Lids, the hat store. And I think they did like a Lids version of Topps Chrome cards. These are all cool. They're all fun chases for right now. I can't predict the future. I don't have a crystal ball, but these are the types of cards that did come out previously and don't really hold too much in the way of value. They're more gimmicky, Icy Bear, police cards, or Drake's cakes, Nestle. I remember, pulling a Shaq Fleer rookie out of a Drake's cakes, dessert, the little snack cakes kind of thing. A lot of that going on now, just like there was a lot of that in the early 90s. It's fun to see kind of history repeat itself over again in the cycles. Back in the 90s, there was also a lot of hobby beef, a lot of people going after each other. Now with the internet, interwebs and the old matrix that we all live in, the 24-hour news cycle and the social media, the hobby beefs, it's everywhere. And there's a petition and people going after the petition folks, and so that's where you get hobby beef tacos from. It's really, I got to tell you, I was considering bolstering my weekly news segment with like a segment I was going to call Hobby Where's the Beef. You remember the Wendy's commercial with the Where's the Beef lady? Where's the beef? That was Wendy's best advertisement ever. McDonald's and Burger King had their burgers, and Wendy's did a Where's the Beef? And they opened it up and they did a whole deal. And, hold on, what? Is that for me?
Yeah, it's a show on your episode.
To show what?
Because you said Burger King. This is Burger King
ice cream. It's from Burger King. I was talking about Burger King. He's got Burger King ice cream.
Also,
here, enjoy.
Also.
You can have it.
I'll go to my friend's house.
Later. There you go. Interruptions, as always. But he got Burger King ice cream. I guess a friend from down the block brought him some Burger King ice cream. So we're talking about fast food. We're talking about all that fun stuff. And he brings in a prop for me, a little ice cream from Burger King. So the hobby beef, it really is an interesting thing, man. People kind of going after each other. I'm going to take it a different way, right? So I was going to do like a Wendy's Where's the Beef like. And this week it's, everybody going after Ephus Pitch because his petition has like 200 people signing in it. And he's being like a gatekeeper and I'm going to take it a different way. I don't even care about that. I love some of the content that's out there. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I was on the entire live last night for Sports Card Radio. I think those guys are hilarious. I got to tell you, I think it's funny. And they get a lot of people in the chat. It's a very active chat. And I think they just say what they want to say. And it really is, it's refreshing kind of hobby content from this regard. It's not that it's they're calling people out or any of that stuff. It's, what's the best way to say this? They're not blowing smoke on anyone in this space. If you're a hobbyist, right, and you are looking for content to listen to and the whole deal, they are the exact opposite of the, whoa, Fanatics is coming in and 10Xing this and that. They really don't put that gloss on it. They don't try to put lipstick on a pig. They tell you what it is. And I think a lot of that comes from I don't know those guys from anything, but I think a lot of it comes from being in the space for a while and, seeing the repeat of this, seeing the, investment in young quarterbacks over time that just don't pan out, and, seeing the investment in cards and being treated like stocks rather than, cardboard. And, it's almost like don't take it too seriously. Realize what it is. Realize what it is that you're doing. And, there's an honesty to the content. And I enjoy that. I definitely do. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but it's just one of those things where, because they brought up some of the hobby beef stuff that's going on in their own kind of humorous way. I enjoy that stuff. I'm pretty sure they post those videos, the lives, on their YouTube channel. You can go back and check them out. AIH posted some fun videos. I'm actually enjoying his content a lot more recently. It's short, it's quick, a couple minutes here and there, throw it on while I'm commuting. And it's a fun balance, man, because there's so much stuff going on in the hobby, from the craziness of I'm making an announcement that I'm making an announcement, to we're 10X in the hobby and we're going to hang out with Wemby and we're going to give away his, well, that's cool, to where we're making a taco fractor and we're giving away tacos. What that has to do really with, cards? Nothing. And that's the interesting part about this, right? I might call it hobby beef tacos, and I'm approaching 12 minutes. I said I keep it short. Maybe we'll only do like 15. But everything I just talked about for 12 minutes has absolutely nothing to do with cards. I mean, I guess the taco fractor is sort of a card, but it's a gimmick card. It's not, I don't really foresee it holding any real value, especially if the value is, hey, I got to trade this in to get tacos. That's more of like a redemption kind of thing, which I guess is fine. But it's not about like, wow, we're going to be making cards that people want to own them. And I guess if you're resorting to gimmicks, is it sort of the wrong way to go? And I don't know. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. Maybe people love this, I'm not a huge fan of breaking, but I know that a lot of people are. I'm not a huge fan of kind of gimmicky cards. I know a lot of people possibly are, because, I guess we're going to be chasing taco fractors now. I wonder if we're ever going to get to a point where there are cool cards being made. And that's kind of where my brain is now. If you turn on Instagram and Twitter and hobby media, and it's just this guy's after this guy's shill bidding, this guy's going after this guy. Jay Lee's got beef with somebody. He never even said who his beef was with. He posted something that he has a beef with somebody. I don't even know who it is. But if that's the stuff, what about the cards? And this has happened before. We went through a period of gimmicks, and I'm hopeful, right? And maybe I'll end with this. In the early 90s, there was gimmicks all over the place with cards, right? There was, all kinds of craziness with cards. And there was printing like you wouldn't believe, with all of these brands and everything being printed. Upper Deck, just turn the machines on and just leave them on, right? And it kind of fried everything. And then you had the work stoppage, the baseball stoppage. You had the strike in 94, which seems similar to me to a lot of the, like people were turned off by it. It was hard to get back. It's sort of like Panini versus Fanatics and lawsuits and Players Association, all that stuff. You might get a little fatigue from that. Hobby beef, legal stuff between the card companies, you name it. But what came after that, luckily a 96 basketball draft class and Michael Jordan having some real success, became innovation in the hobby. It came game jerseys, right? You got your cool looking cards, like your 90s inserts, like your PMGs. You got numbered cards. You got autograph cards. The hobby, because people got fatigued and kind of stopped putting their money into it, the hobby had to evolve, and the product itself became what people were looking at. The product itself evolved and got better through competition, through actually trying to have to chase the money instead of just people throwing money at you. And I guess I'm hopeful that as we get through this little period here of hobby beef and everybody going after each other and, just printing more cards and more gimmicks, that maybe the period that follows this is a period of, almost cardboard revolution. I don't know what comes next. But people couldn't predict those late 90s and early 2000s and the fancy exquisite kind of cards that came out after that. who knows what comes next. Hopefully it's something like that. And there's your Friday. Enjoy your long holiday weekend, guys. Have fun. Maybe I'll win my first game in fantasy this week. I'll keep you posted. Take care, everybody.